Here's the story. I heard this story in a video from Rabbi Shabbatai Slavatitsky yesterday. I looked for it. I couldn't find it again. I wanted to find it again for some of the details. So I'll tell you that one of the details that anyway, they told a story about the Bobov Rebbe, the Rebbe from Bobov. Bobov is a flourishing Chassidut, a group of Hasidim, religious Jews, Orthodox Jews. I think Bobov was from Romania or somewhere, Poland. I'm sorry, I don't really know. But anyway, one of those, and they dress like all the other Hasidim. They're black and they have streimels on whatever on Shabbos, and they dress. And generally speaking, they're very, very nice people, very serious, very kind people. And the Rebbe is a very human person, very holy person, very erudite. And anyway, so the story goes like this. Now in Bobov Hasidim, they have how many? I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, a lot, thousands of Hasidim, Bobov. There's even a whole city that they have. Where is it? In New York or something? Kiryat Bobov, I think. So the story is that he was saved from the Holocaust. He came to America. Now, if you know this history of America, it's a pretty shocking history in the time of the Holocaust. But America, and with the very, how do you say, great encouragement from the Reform rabbis. There was a Rabbi Weiss and a Rabbi Silver, whatever. They encouraged very much the American government not to allow immigrants to come from Europe, not to allow them in. Incredible, just mind-boggling. And America will be flooded with these people, and whatever logic. I don't know. I don't understand the whole thing, but that's what it was. You can look it up and find out. So the Bobov Rebbe came. How we got in, there must be a whole big story about that also. But they did. I mean, he was a very important person, so they let him in, like they let the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe in. So they let him in, and he heard that they weren't letting Jews in. That he was one of the lucky ones that they. So he said he had to do something about it. So he must have learned English a little bit, or he took somebody with him. I think he must have learned a little bit of English. In any case, he found out that the head, the one who was really in head of the immigration, was a Jewish senator or House of Representatives, whatever. And his name was, and this is what I forgot, it was something like Sam Katz, but I'm not sure. In any case, let's say it was Katz. His name was Katz, Mr. Katz. So he tried to get into this senator to see him. Now, the senator, of course, was a Jew, but he was totally not religious. And he was like the spearhead of this, refusal to let Jews come in. There was the tragic story of the ship called the St. Louis that came from Germany with hundreds of and they refused to let them in. No country let them in. They came. It was like in the early 40s or maybe late 30s, and no country would let them in. And they even sent out like Coast Guard to make sure that nobody jumped off of the ship and tried to swim in. And they went back to Germany, and most of them were killed. Anyway, America refused to let him in. So this Rebbe Bobov, he wrote letters to this Congressman, Katz, whatever his name was. Excuse me if I have the name of the congressman wrong. I just forgot. But okay. So he wrote the letters to him, and he never got an answer. And he tried calling him, and he tried everything, and never got an answer. Couldn't get through. So finally, somehow or other, he got permission to get into this congressman for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. The congressman was a tremendously busy person. He'll give you an audience for 5 minutes. So good. He had to travel far away. He didn't have any money. It was poor, so he had to take buses. He took buses and he got the early to Washington, and he found out where the office was, and he got there early, and he waited in the waiting room for like 2 hours, and the time he was supposed to go. And finally, a secretary came out and said, what do you want? This is I have a meeting with the senator today. I see him. I said, okay, the senator is very busy. He said, let me just one moment. He said he can see you for 5 minutes. So he goes in, a religious Jew. Like in America also, in those days, there were no religious Jews walking around the streets. And if they did, they didn't have beards on. And here he had a beard and he was dressed in his Chassidic garb and everything like that. And so he was sitting opposite, and this senator, or whatever his congressman, he didn't even look up. He was just looking at his papers and everything like that. And so he sat there and he knew he had to say something, but he didn't know what to say. So the congressman said, who are you? Still looking down. He wasn't even looking up. Who are you? So the Rebbe of Bobov had to say something. His time was losing, and he wanted to save who knows how many Jews. So he said, I'm a criminal. I go against the law. I break laws. I'm a criminal. So the congressman looked up and said, what? What'd you say? He said, the reason that I'm here is because I'm a criminal. I break laws. He said, where I come from, the Germans made a law that Jews had to follow their orders, go into the concentration camps. I didn't. It was forbidden to encourage anyone not to follow the orders of the Germans. I encouraged people not to. I hid in the forest. I came and I helped people to escape from German law. I'm a criminal. And I want to be a criminal here also. There's a law. Now he has the detention of this. There's a law here that won't let my brothers, my sisters that are being killed in Germany, your brothers, your sisters that are being massacred in Germany. And there's a law in America that those Jews can't be saved here. And I want to break that law. I want to be a criminal. Someone has to stand up and help these Jews. They're crying, babies, men, women, children, old people, and you can help them in. I'm a criminal. That's why he came here, is in order to break the law. And so he looked up and he saw that this congressman was crying. And the Rebbe of Bobov, he broke down. That's it. He broke down crying, weeping, crying. His heart was breaking. It wasn't just a new idea, the save energy or something, global warming or something. This is really, people were really dying. They were really being killed. And he broke down weeping. God, his 5 minutes were already over, they passed over. So he lifted his head up and he saw that the congressman was also weeping. And the congressman stuck out his hand and he said, I want to be a criminal too. He said, after that, this congressman, there was one of the big opposers to let foreigners in. He signed all sorts of papers because he couldn't break the law. He had to put it through Congress and change the law. It would take months. And who knows if it would pass. So he allowed hundreds and hundreds of people. He signed papers, whatever it is, and he brought people in illegally. It was against the law. And he was one of the biggest, the helpers of the Jews because of what the genuineness of the Rebbe of Bobov and revealing the true, genuine heart in every Jew, in this congressman. Have a good day with Mashiach now. See you all tomorrow, 8:15.